Welcome back, Weirdos and Weebies, to the channel Double Chin Doge, where today I'm going to do the making of Memory Microcosm, which is actually the second one I've made, not counting Psychological Birth, that intro one. But I mean, I haven't made it yet when I'm recording this, but when the EP releases, I'll probably make this the last one, because it's a lot longer than the rest of them, because it's not actually, like, the amount of bars is about the same, but the tempo's lower, so that means that the song is a lot longer. Like, it's about 7 minutes, I think, and so I was thinking, because it sounds very final anyway, and because it was so long that I thought if I put it, like, towards the beginning, it'd be annoying if someone wanted to, like, quickly just get through one to get to the next one if they didn't exactly like this one. And also, I thought that was a possibility, because while I personally I'm happy with this, I can understand why someone wouldn't like this. But, yes, I've gone for a very weird style here. There's, I think it's like, I'm not sure what the exact name of the song this is based off of is, but this is vaguely based off of, if you've ever played Paper Mario. In the soundtrack, one of the tracks is as you're going across Shiver Mountain, I think it's called. It's been a while since I played it. And it had some very, very strange synthetic chords that were very harsh and yet very, like, dreamlike. They felt very out of place, but it was very enjoyable. So I thought, what would happen if I tried to do that myself? And I actually made a project almost like this, exactly like this, before, and I got very far with it, but I was on such a roll I didn't stop to, like, save a draft of it. And then, of course, I go to save a draft of it finally after all this work, and it crashes before it finishes exporting. So the file's corrupted. I just got rid of it. Well, I'm not sure if corrupted is the right word. I don't really know what happens if it's halfway through exporting and then it crashes, but I think it's corrupted because it just says the file can't play, which makes sense. But yeah, so this one, it's very much based off of that. The only difference was that one that crashed didn't really have a drop. It just did these chords, but with a bandpass filter that would move around with some more heavy percussion. But here, it's a bit different. So the notes are actually almost exactly the same. Like, there's so many notes here that I never thought I would be able to recreate them, but surprisingly a lot of them was just guessing by feel, and it actually worked. So first of all, we've got these in fact, first of all, there's a master bandpass on, and I just need to turn it off. I just need to put it at that point in the song. You're going to have to excuse my bad CPU load. It's just, there's a lot of unison here, and the sound just won't be the same without it. I could spend ages, like, well, not ages, but quite a bit, like, reducing unison voices and all that, but overall I don't think it'd work here like it did in Totems. In Totems, the unison wasn't exactly a critical point of the synth. Here it's one of the defining things about it. So yeah, this is a very choir-like thing, and this is basically how I got the sound. I thought, what would happen if I tried to play 5-note chords within an octave and try not to have any, like, repeated notes? Like here there's E6 and E7, but I tried not to do that whenever I could, and I think that's the only time I have, like, one of the notes just be an octave up from the root note. But, oh, it's also done here, but besides that, it's never done, just those two chords. So yeah, this creates a lot of clashing. Like, having close together notes and chords is almost always a terrible idea, but that's kind of what makes this unique. The chords shouldn't, they're clashing, so they should sound dissonant and horrible and all that, but they're in E major, playing some very high optimistic tones, so it creates this strange feeling of happiness in, like, this dissonance and, like, chaos and all that. It's quite an interesting, very strange sound, and I feel like it fits perfectly into this kind of, like, trippy style. I'm not even sure what I'd really label this as. I guess I'd label it as future bass combined with ambient or trance, because it's kind of got the whole lush chords and all that to it. But anyway, then there's the melody that comes in, which is this the synth, I couldn't quite get it right compared to the original. The original was a little bit better. It's so hard to describe. I remember finding the synth very easy to make, but I don't remember how I made it, and I tried to recreate it here, and I just couldn't. So in the end, I just went for something complex, and I got something close enough. The old sound, I can only describe it as a vocal bell. Like, it sounds like a cross between a voice and a bell. I really can't describe it as anything else but that. It's very, very, very strange, but this is the closest I could get to it. Oh, sorry about that. There's a lot of reverb here. There's a whole lot of stuff. Oh, just let me finish. There's a whole lot of stuff going on here, but I'll show you that later. First of all, I'm just going to show you a bit of the structure. I would usually do this chronologically, just bit by bit, and cover everything. But here I feel like it wouldn't really be fitting. I know I've rattled on quite a lot this one. I mean, I'm already done with my 10 minutes, but I feel like I should really get across to you what I was trying to do here, because obviously this is something very, very strange. This just is playing the pattern 1 synth, but it's like kind of a downlifter for it. And then there's the drop, which plays the same chords, but this time with a very large super saw, and it plays every beat because it's the volume. There's a volume envelope on it that makes it louder every beat. Now, this kind of has a like swing to it when you listen to it, and you can see there's a lot of automation clips here. You see, the reason why I don't play the sound individually is because these automation clips really make the sound. This automation clip, these blue ones, correlate to this pattern 9, which is just this melody from before, but into a different synth. But here, the rest of these are all modulating this synth. And even though there's a lot going on, it doesn't sound so complex because it's doing the same thing over and over and over and over. So it's got a sense of repetitiveness to this track, and I usually don't like to be repetitive, but I feel like it kind of fits in this style. Besides, when you're going for these kind of trancey, like strange, spacing out kind of genres, having a whole lot of diversity is very, very difficult because it can often like break the mood. You've got to keep a consistent mood often with these to really immerse someone in there. The real part where you have a lot of variation is in the sounds, the sound effects. But here, I wasn't just going to have like these series of chords with loads of different sound effects. But I might do something like that in the future, but this isn't exactly what I was going for. I want something repetitive and yet intriguing. So I went for this kind of gentle, well, not gentle, powerful, but not exactly frantic swing. Where suddenly everything gets a lot clearer and all that, and then there's just a little break where there is this new synth introduced. It's the same melody again, but this time it's got a kind of bass sidechain thing going on. It's one of my presets on GMS that actually I don't use that much, surprisingly, even though it's a very good synth that a lot of people kind of synth that a lot of people use. But I think that's the reason I don't use it much, because I really would like for my style to be distinct. Even though I do like to try and take things from and make them sound like other people's work, I do still want to have my own distinct style. So I guess that's probably why I don't use it that much. But it sounds like this, and of course it won't play it for whatever reason. But yeah, there you go forward, and then there's these bells that are going to be playing the melody again. It's the same notes all the time basically, but that's the whole repetitiveness to it. Really immerse you in there, and then every 8 bars starts playing the octave up, then the next one, until eventually and then finally you just get the drop again, but now with these little wobbles. Just a sec. This is going to be here.